Obviously not going to discount the other all-time greats. Rafael Nadal, one of the greatest ever. I just feel that Novak has the ability to raise his almost his mental focus throughout matches and throughout certain conditions. Makes him fairly
Novak,
unique.
the score line will look pretty simple. It'll say straight sets in under 2 hours. But what kind of challenge was that from Damir?
I thought I started very well, set and a break, and then things got complicated. Lost my focus. He started missing less, and he put some really good variety in the game. You know, he's one of the quickest players on the tour. He gets a lot of balls back. You know, he played some really good shots, and it was anybody's game really. Midway through the second set, you know, I was pleased to close out the second set 6-4, and then a third obviously stepped it up for a couple of levels probably.
Without any crowd noise, everything is amplified right now.
Yeah.
We never question whether there's going to be intensity, but there were several moments from Damir and from you, Novak, where you were really demonstrative, yelling and shouting, seemingly up toward your box, sometimes out in the air. What leads to those moments of shouting and yelling?
Well, I mean, the intensity, obviously, you care about, you know, winning a tennis match. I mean, obviously you're a professional, so, you know, if I didn't care, I wouldn't be here. And this is how I play, and I play with a lot of intensity and try to bring a lot of energy on the court. Sometimes it's not super positive, but, you know, I try to bounce back from that and react well and recover. You know, sometimes, as I say, I lose my focus, but the important thing is to come back as soon as possible.
Without the crowd, what are you looking for from the box? What role and how is it different?
I mean, it's difficult to say. You know, obviously your team in your box is always cheering you on, and you, regardless of the fact whether you have an empty or full stadium, you always turn to them, mostly, right? You look up to them, and you know, you expect them to be with you and to kind of support you on the journey through the match, and hopefully you can win the match and obviously celebrate with them. But you know, it is a bit strange, because sometimes, you know, you don't want maybe your box to clap when your opponent makes a mistake. Damir is a very good friend, so it was a little bit awkward, but at the same time, you know, it's a Grand Slam. You know, first round, we both want to start well, playing on the biggest stadium in sport, and I had a terrific week last week, you know, winning the tournament, so obviously feeling confident about myself.
Finally, Novak, it's not typical for you to play necessarily the week before a slam. Difficult grinding matches in the semifinal and the final, and winning the Western and Southern. How challenging is it right now for you physically?
I feel fine, you know, to be honest. I did struggle a bit in the semis and finals back to back, but had 48 hours, not so much, but still enough time to recover. I felt good on the court today. It was not too humid. The good thing about the slam is that you play every 2 days, one match, so you have one day at least of rest and recovery. So I'm going to try to use that as much as I can and gather all my energy and strength for the next one.
The result the same, and the intensity as well. Well done, and into the second round, Nole.
Thank you.
Appreciate
nice talking to you. Thank you.
He's intense. He doesn't need a lot of help from fans to be that way.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear him discuss. Just we mentioned
right,
how
Novak,
different it would be to navigate
with the
a 3 out of 5 set match with no crowd, and he has that intensity, he has that passion, and I think he felt like he had to artificially create it since there wasn't a crowd, and that's why he had those kind of violent screams occasionally.
Getting himself going?
Definitely.
So these 3 balls, Djokovic, this is for charity. Djokovic has to try to aim into some.
We have a view of the court from our commentary box, and he hit all 3 targets. To no surprise. And he did it rather nonchalantly.
Yeah,
like,
it was.
Is this really
Very
me?
casual, very casual rally of his to rebuild. It's 3 quick rallies, and he's helping to rebuild.
Interesting to hear Djokovic say that he feels good physically. That's not what the rest of the field wants to hear, right?